Hello! Hi everyone, my name is Cleo and welcome to another video of Around Our World, where today we're going to visit South Africa. South Africa. South Africa is a country in the continent of Africa. It's all the way at the bottom, the south side. We're gonna look at our animal map of South Africa and try to find it. This is all of Africa. See, there's all the different maps. If we look really close at that pink country at the bottom where there's a cheetah, roar! That is South Africa. That is South Africa. There's all of Africa, the continent, and there's the country, South Africa, at the bottom. Today we're going to read a book about a little boy named David who is living in South Africa and tells us all about his day and what it's like to live there. And we're going to do a craft. You're going to need paint and you're going to need fingers, or you can use paintbrushes if you like, or stamps if you like, or you can roll up a tissue and dip it in the paint and make spots if you like. We are going to paint over the flag of South Africa after the story. But first we're going to sing our hello song. We're going to learn just a little bit of Xhosa, the language that's used in Black Panther and one of the official languages in South Africa. Let's sing our hello song. Hello world, hello world, hello world, hello, hello, hello. Today we are going to learn to say hello in Xhosa. Xhosa is one of the many official languages in South Africa. There's 11 or 12 official languages in South Africa. To say hello in Xhosa, we say Mholweni. Mholweni. Hello, Mholweni. We're traveling to South Africa. We should know how to say hello to people that speak Xhosa. We say Mholweni. Okay, now you try. Mholweni. Let's put it all together. Mholweni. Very good. Mholweni owl, Mholweni hello, Mholweni Grover, hello, Mholweni who? Bear, Mholweni bear, hello, Mholweni, hello world, hello world. Hello world, hello, 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 hello. This time our story is living in South Africa. We're going to see what David's day is like. There's little David there, and he lives in South Africa. Let's open the book. Living in South Africa. What does it look like David is playing? Football. I think David is playing football. Do you like football? Dumela. That means hi in Northern Sotho, one of the languages in South Africa. Dumela. Hi. My name is David, and I live in South Africa. South Africa is a country in Africa where more than 50 million people live, including me. That's more people than live in Canada. 50 million people live in South Africa. South Africa is on the southern tip of the continent of Africa. It borders 6 countries. 6 different countries touch South Africa. Lesotho is within South Africa's borders. It's like a little island inside of South Africa, see? It's just right in the middle of the country. Lesotho, the country, is just right in the middle of the country of South Africa. Much of South Africa is covered by plateaus. Plateaus are tall, flat areas of land. Big, open spaces of flat land. The plateaus have grasslands on top. Lots of animals like rhinos and zebras, cheetahs, lions, and even elephants live in the grasslands. What animals do you see right now in the grasslands? Elephants and 2 zebras. Above the plateaus of South Africa, the land dips down to form the Kalahari Basin. Some parts of the basin are a sandy desert, while others are grassy. I see meerkats. I see different kinds of birds here in the Kalahari Basin. Along the coast is the Great Escarpment, where the plateaus drop off. Drakensberg is a very tall mountain range. There's even mountains in South Africa too. Plateaus, the basin, the escarpment. Drakensberg is a tall mountain range along the eastern part of the Great Escarpment. In the Afrikaans language, Drakensberg means mountains of dragons. Maybe dragons live in these mountains. Oh, I don't know. A very famous South African, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, called South Africa the Rainbow Nation. The Rainbow Nation. That's because South Africans come from so many different cultures. Lots of people are descendants of African tribes, like the Xhosa and Zulu. 2 different African tribes, Xhosa tribe and the Zulu tribe. Some people in South Africa trace their origins, their backgrounds, to India. Their ancestors came to South Africa as slaves or laborers hundreds of years ago. They were taken from their homes and forced to work in South Africa hundreds of years ago. And then their kids and their kids' kids and their kids' 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 kids still are there. Others are descendants of Europeans, Europe, the continent Europe. They came from Holland or France or England. Whatever our heritage, today we are all South Africans. There's a picture of Johannesburg. South Africa has lots of big cities. Johannesburg was founded during a gold rush where there was lots of gold in the country. A theme park was later built around one of the gold mines. And then there at the bottom is Cape Town. Cape Town sits in the shadow of Table Mountain, a flat-topped mountain that looks down on the city. They call it Table Mountain because it's flat on top like a table. Bloemfontein is known as the City of Roses. South Africa has a City of Roses. I bet it's so beautiful. The name Bloemfontein means Fountain of Flowers in Dutch. Pretoria, down below, is home to the biggest zoo in South Africa. Have you been to a zoo before? What kinds of animals did you see at that zoo? Maybe some of those animals were at the zoo in South Africa too. I see zebras and what else? A rhino. The zoo in Pretoria houses many of the coolest plants and animals in our country, says David. I live in a house in a suburb of Pretoria with my mom, my dad, my older sister, and my older brother. And there's David's family. David says, my dad is a software engineer. He creates programs for computers. He helps make computers work. My mom is an accountant. Accountants help people with their money. David's mom is an accountant. My sister wants to be a doctor when she grows up. Oh, cool. What do you want to be when you grow up? My brother plays a sport called rugby. Oh, that's why the football was there. It's for rugby. We get up really early each morning, around 5:30. After I get dressed in my school uniform, I have breakfast with my family. See how everyone's wearing the same clothes to school? That's what uniforms are like. Everyone wears similar clothes to go to school. That's a uniform. For breakfast, we usually eat cereal or porridge. What do you usually have for breakfast? Do you eat the same thing as David? Because my brother and sister and I go to a private school in the city, we have a long bus trip. We take the first bus down to downtown Pretoria and our second bus to another neighborhood where our school is. The trip takes a little over an hour. An hour to go to school and come back every day. Do you know how long it takes you to get to school? Maybe 0 time at all if you're doing school from home right now. School starts at 7:45 a.m. and there are 30 students in my class. Each day has 8 sections or 8 periods or 8 parts. We learn languages, we learn math, we learn science, music, gym, geography, and we learn history. History is our first lesson. History is where we learn about what happened in the past. A long time ago or even a short time ago in the past. In our history class, we have been learning about apartheid. Apartheid was a time in our history when the government discriminated against people of color. People with browner skins, with darker skins. It began in 1948, some 70 years ago, when a group called the National Party won the election. Do you know how elections work? They put people or candidates on a piece of paper and they say, which person do you want to lead the country? And you put a check mark beside who you think is going to do the best job leading the country, and then whoever has the most votes, whoever has the most check marks, leads the country. So they had an election, and the National Party was the group that won. The National Party believed that white people or people with lighter skin were better than people of other races. They forced anyone who wasn't white to carry papers. Papers that say why they're where they are. Anyone without their papers got arrested. They could have gone to jail, or they did go to jail. And that's not fair because it didn't happen to everybody. It shouldn't have happened to anybody. It only happened to people of color, people with browner skin. And that's not very fair. As time went on, things only got worse in South Africa. 3 million people were forced to give up their homes and their land to the government. The government kicked them out of their homes. Can you imagine being in your house and someone tells you you have to leave just because of the way you look? that land was resold to white people, and people of other races were forced into poor, crowded areas called homelands, where there wasn't enough room for people to have their own space, and there wasn't enough food, and there wasn't enough resources. People of other races who lived outside the homelands were separated from white South Africans. They had to sit somewhere else, in schools, in theaters, in restaurants, and that's not fair either. On top of everything, the government stripped non-white people of their right to vote. They weren't allowed to choose who the next leader would be. And that's not fair at all. Every single person deserves to have a vote. But the National Party said, nope, we're not going to let people of color, people with browner skin, vote, and that's not fair. So many South Africans resisted apartheid. They joined groups like the African National Congress, the ANC. They joined the ANC group, and they got a really good lawyer named Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, he had protests, and he told people to fight apartheid laws. He said, we cannot stand for things that aren't fair. I'm not better than you, and you are not better than me because of the color of your skin. Everyone deserves the right to vote. You deserve the right to sit where you want, in a theater, or to go to school. So this African National Congress, the ANC, led by Nelson Mandela, they fought the government, and he was arrested. Even though he was right, he was arrested. Even though Nelson Mandela was in jail, he became a symbol of resistance, a symbol of fighting for what's right. By 1989, protests and demands from people, as well as pressure from countries around the world, started to bring apartheid to an end. Other countries were looking at South Africa and saying, you are not being fair to all the people there. You should do better. So Nelson Mandela got to leave prison. He didn't have to stay in jail anymore because he was right, and other people realized that. And by 1994, South Africans of every race were able to vote in all the new elections. And you know who became president after that? Nelson Mandela, the guy who led the African National Congress and said, you guys aren't being fair to everyone. He became the next president. In the next election, people voted for him. So he was the first black president of South Africa, and there he is, taking his oath. That was a pretty good history lesson, all about South Africa. After our history lesson, we have languages. We learn English and Northern Sotho and other languages, because South Africa has 11 official languages. In Canada, we just have 2. We have English, which I'm speaking right now, and we have French. On a le français. We have French and English as our official languages. South Africa has 11 official languages, like Northern Sotho, like Xhosa, like Zulu, like Afrikaans. And I think it's in Black Panther. In Black Panther, they use Xhosa, the language Xhosa. The Black Panther superhero movies. After English, we work on our math lesson, and then we go to lunch. I usually pack a lunch from home, but today is Wednesday, and that means it's macaroni and cheese day. I always eat a school lunch on Wednesday. Yummy macaroni and cheese day. After lunch, we have lessons in geography and then science. In science, we are learning about archaeology, a study of how people in the past lived, archaeology. We use fossils and ancient cave paintings to study what people lived like in South Africa. What do you think is happening in that picture that people used to do? What's happening? I see bows and arrows and spears. I think people are hunting giraffes and people are hunting deer. To eat, probably. Next, we have music and gym class, and then school is all done. My brother, my sister, and I walk to the bus stop. Once we get home, my sister helps me with my homework, and then I play a computer game. What do you like to do when you come home from somewhere, from school or from the store? What's the thing you like to do to relax? When my parents get home, we go outside to play rugby. Rugby is a sport similar to American football. My brother and I have played rugby in summer programs. Rugby is one of the most popular sports in South Africa. During apartheid, rugby was mostly played by white South Africans, while black South Africans played soccer. But after apartheid ended, after people weren't segregated, people weren't saying that this race or that race is better than this race, after that was all done and Nelson Mandela was president, we won the Rugby World Cup. Black South Africans were urged to play rugby as well, and today, rugby is a popular sport among many people. It's dinner time! Look at all the yummy food on the table! We're having samp, or crushed corn, and beans with sheep tripe. Tripe means stomach, so they're eating sheep's stomach. It's really tasty! After dinner, I help my big brother clean up and do a few chores before bed. On some nights, my family and I stay up watching rugby. Our team in South Africa plays against countries from all around the world. Someday, I'm going to visit all those countries to see their rugby teams play. Would you like to visit South Africa someday? Yeah, I would too. And that is the end of the story, living in South Africa. That's what it's like for David, living in South Africa. Okay, here's my little setup for our craft today. We're going to be finger painting on the flag. So what colors do you see on the flag of South Africa? There's red, so we're gonna need a little bit of red paint. What else? How about here? Blue. So we're gonna need some blue paint. How about in between right here? My favorite color, there's yellow. We're gonna need to finger paint some yellow too. How about over here? Green? But I don't have any green paint. I only have red and yellow and blue. Do you think maybe I could mix some colors to get some green? What colors should I mix? Okay, I'm gonna try yellow. And I'm gonna try red and see if that makes green. Stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring. Stirring and stirring. It's not really turning green now, is it? That's not green at all. It's kind of a reddish orange. Maybe I should try some different colors. Let me try again. This time I'm gonna try yellow and blue. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe this time it'll work. What do you think it's gonna make? What are we getting? I think we did it! We got some green! But if we want it to be a darker green, I think we have to add a little bit more blue. Yeah, I think that's a better green. Okay, so now we've got the red and the yellow and the blue that we need. The red, the yellow, the blue. We've made some green by mixing blue and yellow. What other colors are on the flag? We've got red, blue, yellow, green. There is also black. Do you know how we make black with these three colors? Google told me if I use the same amount of each, it'll turn black. Let's see. Let's do an experiment. 1 drop of blue. 1 drop of yellow. And 1 drop of red. Let's mix it all together and see if it turns black. Let's see. What color would you say you see? Doesn't look black to me. Maybe at home, you can try mixing more colors to see if it'll turn black. For me today, this is good enough. I'm happy with this. I'm gonna pretend this is black and use it for the black section of the flag. That's fine with me. I tried. I don't have any black, so maybe this is the best that I can do. And my best is good enough. And then there's also a little bit of white on the flag. I don't have any white paint, but maybe you do. I have this itty bitty little white that I will finger paint with. And then you just want to match the colors with the flag. So I'm gonna put the red there and use my fingers. I've got some paper towels so I can clean my hands. Poke, 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 poke. You can do polka dots. You can do lines. You can do patterns. Long line, short line. Long line, short line. Long line. You can do whatever you want. I'm gonna do some swirlies. Gonna color in my red. Okay, I think I'm ready to do a different section. I'm gonna do green now. Green. I think my green is almost done. I'm gonna do a big Y for my green. What color should I do next? Did I hear yellow, my favorite? Okay, I'm definitely doing the yellow next, but it's a very skinny line, so I have to be careful. Oops, I forgot to clean my hands first. What happened? I got a different color on the yellow section. That's okay. That's okay. It makes the flag extra special. And my black section is going to be very interesting because I don't have any black. I just have this color. And do polka dots. And last but not least, oh, not last because there's also white. But my white is all dried up, so I'm gonna skip white. You can do white. I'm gonna do swirly lines for blue. Spiral. There we go, ta-da! There's my finished map. And if you like, you can design your own flag and do the same activity again, but make a flag for a country that you are the boss of, where you're the prime minister or the president or the king or the queen or royalty. You can make your own flag, and I would love to see it. And that's it for the craft. Ta-da! I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about South Africa and painting with me, and I hope to see you guys next time we learn about another country on Around Our World. Goodbye.